Welcome back to MLS Cafe. This is episode 4. We will have Josh Penn, Inter Miami's new stud, coming on the show in about 30 minutes, maybe less actually. This is going to be a smaller episode, and I don't want to waste any time. I want to dive right into this. You want to dive into that notable news?
Let's go straight into it. Okay, we are here, notable news, and this week was very different, I feel. Past weeks, we talk about the games, we talk about the players. The games weren't really all too interesting, if I'm being blunt, but the stuff around the league was pretty extraordinary, man. A lot of big storylines happening, one of them being the Columbus Crew. You want to take them into that?
Yeah, because we were talking a lot about this whole Columbus Crew fiasco, as most people were, if you are a viewer and fan, or even just a supporter of Major League Soccer, and more importantly, the Columbus Crew. Obviously, they rebranded to the Columbus SC, meaning Soccer Club, and this was Save the Crew Mark II again. Fans were really unhappy, as if I think just about everybody was, and they ended up putting out a statement and going back into this and saying, "We are the Crew, we'll always be the Crew, we're sorry we upset you, we are still the Columbus Crew." They redid their name, and they adjusted the logo, making it the new logo, while having remnants of the old logo, adding the 96 in place of the Ohio State flag, but just overall, fans are still pissed off. And the reason fans are really upset right now is because it comes down to this. You change the name and you put it back, but you change their logo, and they want the logo back. Now, here's the thing. Yes, I am a big fan of the original logo, and then when they rebranded and changed it in 2014, I believe it was, to the logo we all know and love, and the logo they won the cup with, and then they changed it again. I understand. I like both of those logos. But this new logo, accept it. Don't get greedy. The league is the one making them rebrand. The league is the one that wants these teams to have a more European feel to it. They want that SC, the United, the Real, the FC. It's not the team. Why the hell would the Columbus Crew turn around, win the cup, and be like, let's just rebrand now to piss off our fans after the whole Save the Crew thing a couple seasons ago? It's the league. They changed the logo. You're lucky they put the name back. Don't start getting greedy. I agree. I wish it was back, but let's take what we can get, because I feel we're getting a decent amount for our bargain here.
I feel like that was the quickest rebrand in the history of sports. It took them, a week or two to actually go back to their old name?
Was it even 2 weeks? Was it even a week? I feel like it was a day.
Yeah, again, it was the Crew, then it was SC, and now it's back to the Crew in a week. People were very upset. Yeah. And the little thing that they changed, like you said, they removed the triangle in the logo, and they added the 96, which it looked like the dude, whoever's the designer, probably took him like 10 minutes to put that in Photoshop.
Yeah, this designer dude is probably going to be on the chopping block for the Columbus Crew.
Well, I just kind of feel bad for everybody that worked on this rebrand, with the new logo and the new name, like all that just gone to waste. Like, just imagine months of preparation, because they're really thinking about this for a long time.
Was it months of preparation, you think? Because I feel like it wasn't, because I think I can make a logo a little better than that.
Well, they probably had all videos, all highlight reels, and now it's all going to waste.
Oh, like that? Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, the whole marketing team is probably so defeated, right? And they're like, we're gonna have flags, we're gonna have banners, all this new merch. Think about all the merch they had. Like merch, all like the fan gear and stuff they had designed. Just gone.
Just out the window, man.
And what about all the new jerseys? Weren't the new kits going to have the new logo on it? Picture how many of those were already in production, and they were just like, scrap that.
Probably lost a lot of money, but again, they shouldn't have done the rebrand in the first place. It was a horrible idea. Like, why do they think that was a good idea to just remove the most historic name from the league and then put SC after it? Exactly. Just because it's a soccer club doesn't mean us Americans are going to like it,
Exactly. In America, we have these cool names. We have the Rapids. We have the Crew. I mean, you want to look at other sports. I mean, it's the New York Yankees. If you start calling the team the New York, I don't know, baseball club, is that even a thing? BC? Nobody's going to watch this. They're going to be like, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? In America, we don't think like that. We aren't clubs and United and Real. We like names like the Crew, the Rapids, the Dynamo, the Impact. We like those names. When you hit us with something like, oh, here's Austin FC, and oh, Charlotte, newly minted. Oh, there's so many great things. The Charlotte Queens, Queentown, Crowntown, all these great names, and you launch with like, oh, here's just your boring old Charlotte team. It's like, what are you doing?
Yo, BC, that's one letter away from being something else, man.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why they don't use that.
It's a very rocky road, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to go down that rocky road.
But let's go down this road right here with Houston.
Walk it.
So there's a lot of stuff happening with Houston. This is in the news right now. It's not 100% confirmed, but it basically is that they're getting a new owner who his name is Ted Siegel, which I looked up everywhere for him, and I don't think this dude actually exists, man. I went on Wikipedia. He doesn't have a Wikipedia. It comes to a point where we make so much money that you have to have a Wikipedia. I feel like the threshold is around 10, 15 million, but yet he's still not on Wikipedia. I don't know what his net worth is. It's unknown, but it looks like he will be the new owner for Houston.
Yeah, you're talking millions. Isn't this guy worth like $1 billion?
I don't know.
I think he's supposed to have a lot of money here. And the fact that, like you said, you come to a certain point, which was a beautiful analogy here. You come
Thank you.
to a certain point where you're making enough money, you have to have a Wikipedia page or something. The fact that Google doesn't even have a ballpark of what you're making. Who is the Siegel guy and what's up with him?
It's a little sketchy for me, you know.
I don't like
Again, he's supposed to be a New York businessman, and the old owner was Gabriel Bernier, and he was a cheap owner too. So I'm happy that Houston's getting a new guy, you know, to be at the helm of that job, and hopefully he's ambitious because right now Houston, dude, they're dying in that summer heat. You know, they have no fans showing up to the games. In the past, they had like 30,000 fans at their old stadium show up some games. Now they can't even get over 20K. So Houston, they're
It's the
kind of
battle
dying.
of Texas. It's really just the battle of Texas. And also, side note, is it Siegel or Seagal?
I have no idea. Again, I couldn't find anything. No pronunciation, no nothing
Not
for
even
this
a
guy.
pronunciation. That's a major alarming fact.
It is, really.
I mean, one fact I actually have written down right here is Atlanta had over 40K people at their home game.
That is not alarming at all, man. That is fantastic.
It's alarming because the team's not playing up to par, in my opinion. But yes, that's very nice to see. Atlanta has absolutely dominated that market since entering the league. And we were talking about Charlotte before. We actually just put out an article about this. And I think it's yesterday now for you guys because this is actually recorded a couple of days earlier than when it comes out and the audio and everything, blah, blah, blah. We just put out a video on Charlotte and how they are going to dominate Major League Soccer, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, Atlanta reaching some nice numbers this weekend.
I feel like that was the perfect game, too. 40,000 fans. They got a dub. They beat Montreal, and I think it was the 90th minute with a winner from Marcelino Moreno. So a great win by them, and I'm just looking forward to more fans coming back.
Yeah.
I think that was the highest attended soccer game since, March of 2020.
Yeah,
That is fantastic news to see.
exactly.
And MLS breaking some numbers, which
And
is
I
amazing.
feel like this whole season, MLS has broken some numbers. I mean, that opening weekend up 50 to 55%, as we said, every episode now since the first cafe, and it's absolutely still just ringing between my ears.
Should we go into who spilled the beans?
Who spilled the beans?
Who spilled the beans?
Who spilled the goddamn beans? Who is the master of spilling the beans this week on MasterChef?
Bono with a bong off Medina's head. If you guys didn't see it, Toronto played NYCFC this past weekend in a 1-1 tie. But in all honesty, in my opinion, you could say biased opinion, as
Very
we are
biased, but I agree
NYCFC
with the
fans,
statement you're about to make.
it should have been 2-1 as Bono, he boinked it literally off Jesus Medina's head. Jesus Medina did a little leap, I know about that, and it literally went right into Bono's net.
Major boinkage.
It is really major blankage, man. Like, that was probably the most embarrassing play I ever saw from a goalkeeper. Like, he had so much space to punt the ball. Like, he had acres of space in the box, but he chooses to punt it right in front of Medina.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, too, with that rule, you know, it's very, you could say, arbitrary. You know, it's kind of vague, that rule, where it depends obstruction. You know, some person says obstruction in one play, another person doesn't. So I feel like in that situation, Jesus Medina, he was around a yard or two away from the box, and I think it should have stayed as a goal.
I agree.
I think the ref called it way too early on that play.
I mean, that's a point that NYCFC would definitely like to get back, but at least we walked out there with something.
Yeah.
Which, here's something, speaking of NYCFC, Anton Tinnerholm. What the hell? I mean, I agree with him. Anton Tinnerholm, NYCFC's best player. Actually, maybe not second best player after that new signing, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Right now, what I want to mention is what Anton Tinnerholm had to say about NYCFC, their stadium, and I guess their fans too. Yankee Stadium sucks, and the atmosphere sucks. Yeah, it does. It definitely does. But why'd you guys say it like that? You know,
And that was in a Zoom call, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was on Zoom too.
Well, I think he said it a little bit less bluntly, but it was along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know what you were saying when you said those words.
But yeah, again, you know, we agree with him. Yankee Stadium, the worst stadium in the league, can't keep in any noise. You know, the fan atmosphere just isn't there. But I feel like if we do get our stadium, hopefully someday, you know, once upon a time, it will be a banger. You know, I feel like 30,000 fans will easily show up to the new stadium.
Oh, yeah.
But it's got to be in the city. It's got to be in the heart, I feel. It can't be New Jersey.
Yeah, definitely not New Jersey. One thing I was saying, maybe MetLife. I know that's New Jersey, but why not MetLife? How sick would that be? It'd be kind of like, getting back to Charlotte playing with the Carolina Panthers right now in the NFL. Share MetLife. That place is absolutely insane. You'd have automatically now one of the best stadiums in the game. I mean, I'm kind of all for MetLife because I'm sick of going to Yankee Stadium. I would just rather have MetLife right now just to kind of hold us off and then maybe build a stadium because obviously that's not happening anytime soon. Maybe if they can like make some noise and win the cup this season, maybe we'll get a stadium. Or if not, maybe that might even hurt us. See, like, oh, see, they won the cup. They don't need a stadium, you know. But like, what are you gonna do? Win a cup, and everyone is just gonna be like, yeah, and like the atmosphere is just gonna like disappear.
The only point of high ground that we have right now as NYCFC fans is that we play in New York. With the Rebels that play in New Jersey. If we start playing at MetLife, not only is that in New Jersey, that's not even a soccer-specific stadium.
Yeah.
So that would be a double slap in the face, slap-a-rama, and I would not like that one bit.
Yeah, I'm not looking to get slapped around, but I'm also not looking to sharing the Red Bull Stadium either. So I would like to do anything possible other than share a stadium with New Jersey Red Bulls.
Me as well,
Play at City Fields. Play actually with the New York Mets. Do that. Or just downsize. Come to Long Island. Okay, like be like the New York Islanders. Just play on the goddamn island. Just do it. There's so much open land. Just build the goddamn stadium. Play right here. We can walk to the stadium. Put it right here in KP.
Exactly, dude. I don't know when we're gonna get a stadium, but it's got to be soon.
I'm getting skeptical as each season goes by. I'm getting skeptical because what's the difference? Next season, last season, this season, what's gonna change? What's gonna change if you want to build a stadium? It's not like you're waiting on anything. What are you waiting for? A big signing? You have like 15 of those. A playoff run? You have like 15 of those. What are you waiting for? Look what it's come down to. Look what it's come down to. NYCFC right now, I'm happy with this new signing, but they're looking like a joke.
I say let's get into the third bit of who spilt the beans, being Alex Bono, which that story came out a couple weeks ago, and there was more that met the eye than we once thought. So he said, this is what he was saying.
Oh, you said Alex Bono. I believe you mean David Ochoa.
Oh, David Ochoa, my bad.
Because I was like listening and looking at kind of like the little bullet points here, and I'm like, what the hell is he saying?
My bad. Yeah, I was thinking about Alex Bono
Ochoa.
David Ochoa.
David Ochoa.
So with him, again, he punted the ball in the stands a couple weeks ago against, I believe it was Sporting Kansas City. No, it was Minnesota United. Then after that, he got into a little scuffle with Adrian Heath. Adrian Heath said some comments, and now he's saying that he kicked the ball into the stands because there was a kid that wanted the ball.
Bullshit.
Well, yeah, that's what I think, too.
Unless he was trying to kill the kid. I mean,
well, yeah.
Unless he was trying to kill the kid. I mean, imagine being a fan. You're like, ooh, 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 ooh. And then this guy just rockets it at you.
Well, it was a laser beam into the crowd, Like, if it was a little, like, boink, a little dink, then I would say, maybe he was trying to find a kid in the stands.
Yeah.
But that thing was going at a high velocity.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely not boinked or dinked. I mean, it was a...
decapitation. Yeah.
Decapitation, definitely, for sure.
So I think it was complete bullshit. But he said that he talked with Adrian Heath after the game on the phone, and he said that they both apologized to each other. So maybe the story did have a happy ending.
I kind of feel like that's bullshit, too. Like, how would that work? I just call up, listen, man, I'm sorry. And he's like, you know what, Dave? Me too. I feel like that didn't happen. I feel like it's all just to kind of, look good, save face for the league. I feel like Don Garber might have been like, hey, guys, why don't you guys try to clean this up a little bit?
You got to sort it out, yeah.
You know what I mean? But, I guess that's everything for Who Spilt the Beans this week. Should we move on?
Mocha Madness plays of the week.
Not as many this week as we are used to seeing. Not too many crazy ones, but we do have some that we were able to select here. So let's go into those right now.
Mocha Mania.
Mocha Madness plays of the week.
Incredible first goal I want to talk about here. Colorado Rapids find the way to finally win the game here, and it is because of Sam Vines with that absolute stunner. Great way to find an opening. You send that one deep, and you put your team ahead and really capitalize on this victory. Sam Vines, a USMNT native. We loved him, and now we like to see him on Colorado really making some noise for his club.
See, I feel like, again, any other week, this would just be an average goal. But because it was this week, there wasn't too many bangers. This was the best of the bunch. And again, he found the space. Yeah. Beautiful hit with his left foot. And amazing finish by Sam Vines.
I mean, he really put the Houston Dynamo to rest that game. Just aside from that goal, I think overall he played a perfect 10-10 kind of game.
He did. Again, he's coming back from injury. Again, he didn't play the first couple games. Now he's back and he's producing. Mm-hmm. And Colorado won that game 3-1. So Houston didn't do too much. Again, we thought their beginning of the season was a fluke. How they were winning a bunch of games.
And it's kind of looking like that right now. I mean, we're still early on. Anything can happen in the season. But after that game, I'm really kind of feeling on the down path, kind of spiral for the Houston Dynamo.
Me as well. Tab Ramos, again, he wasn't there for the game as he did hit a suspension. So their main man, their coach, wasn't there to take charge of Houston. But then again, you lose 3-1. You can't be doing that.
You need some kind of leader on the pitch, though, other than your coach to stand up. I mean, you can't always blame it on a coach or one player. I mean, look at Toronto. Like I always say, you can't just look at Pozuelo not being there and say this is a reason to lose a game. Sometimes you need another leader to step up, an assistant coach, some guy on the bench even. You need somebody to make some calls here and somebody just to get everyone hyped up and playing the right kind of game. Houston Dynamo, to me right now, just doesn't have that player.
I think so too. And let's go to the second play right here. And this is my favorite player of the week.
This was a good one.
Yimmy Char. What a clean chip over
was.
JT Markinkowski. He couldn't have done a better finish. Beautiful dink over his head. But what an assist. I feel like the assist was better by Eric Williamson. Eric Williamson going past three players on this play, passing it beautifully to Yimmy. And
The
just
creator
all
of that
around,
play.
yeah, all around, great goal. And I feel like Eric Williamson has been the best player for Portland since the beginning of the season.
I think so too, and I've been really impressed with them overall. I mean, Yimmy, after he got that hat trick back a while ago and then came into this MLS season, he wasn't looking like that same guy, but you could tell he was trying. And now after these, couple of games here, he's really starting to connect and find his footing and style of play. And I'm really happy for him and the Portland Timbers right now.
Yeah, he's definitely getting his form back.
Yes.
But again, Eric Williamson, he doesn't have to get his form back because he's always in form,
Yeah.
He's always in that 100% mentality. And again, he has 2 goals, 2 assists and 1 goal on the season. He's killing it, man, with Portland. I feel like he might win MVP on that team this year.
I think he will too. I mean, he's an incredible player. All right, and now I guess moving on to our favorite segment.
Before we move on, though, let me just hit a Mocha splash real quick for Eric Williamson.
Of course.
Beautiful play by him. I feel like he should have been called up to the Olympic qualifiers, but he can't do anything about it. That's in the past. Now we're in the present. And he's
now
having a
we're in
great
the
season.
future. Now we're in the future. Now moving on, Americano Espresso. Let's go there. Last segment before the interview.
Americano Espreso.
Americano Espresso. We are here, and there was actually a lot of big news with USMNT talents. One of them being Big Mac Weston McKennie. Want to take them in?
Weston McKennie, oh my God, the first player ever to win the Coppa Italia. I'm incredibly impressed with him. Weston McKennie is one of my favorite USA boys, and to see him doing so well these last couple of months, and now really seeing him capitalize here with Juventus really makes me happy.
Yeah, man, people thought he was going to play like a Volkswagen, but he's playing like a Lamborghini right now. He's playing absolutely sensationally. And yeah, again, like you said, first American to win that trophy. And so many Americans winning trophies this year. I feel like in every single domestic league, there's been a trophy winner.
I kind of like that, though, Lamborghini McKennie. Like, that kind of sounds pretty fresh.
Well, yeah, I went Lamborghini because that's Italian, right? And then Volkswagen is German. He went from a German club to an Italian club. There's a lot of different things with that joke.
I kind of like that. I didn't even think about it so deep in. I'm not a big car guy. I don't really know much about these engines and pistons, but I do know a lot about Weston McKennie, and I'm very happy for him.
Me as well. He tallied an assist, too, in that game to Kulusevski, the Swedish beast, the Swedish Don. So good stuff by Weston McKennie.
Of course.
Again, cool stuff, actually. His mom responded to us on Facebook when we put
I remember that we made
video.
that little major Stokeage video.
But there also is some bad news about him as well, Weston McKennie, where his team right now is fighting for UEFA Champions League spot. Right now, he is in a Europa League spot as his team is currently in 5th place. But if you're at a team like Juventus, you want to try to get into the Champions League. So it's a must-win game, their last game of the season. Even if they do win it, there's still a chance that they might not make the top 4. So it's a very nerve-wracking situation for him. We'll see if he does make it. And, I'm crossing my fingers for him.
I mean, I'm crossing my fingers for him too, but the one guy we don't have to cross our fingers for right now is John Brooks. You want to give me a little insight here on John Brooks and what's going on with Wolfsburg?
So he made the Champions League. Unlike Weston McKennie, who's still fighting for it, he essentially made it.
Yeah,
the only chance that he won't make it is if Frankfurt somehow wins by 10 goals their next game. But he made it. He's been the best defender for Wolfsburg, one of the best players, and for me, the best USMNT player this season by far. His consistency has just propelled him to the next level.
It has. He's really been incredible so far, as you're saying, and everything that's going on with him in Wolfsburg has just really created such a great place.
Well, it's crazy. I feel like a couple seasons ago, Wolfsburg was fighting to stay up in the league. They're in the relegation, and now they're in the promotion. Basically, there was promotion.
Everything that has gone on, especially in these last couple of years, especially with the pandemic, the fact that they're making this much noise right now, it's just astonishing.
Exactly. In Wolfsburg, they had the second best defense in the Bundesliga.
Is it second best? I knew it was up there. I didn't know it was second best.
Yeah, RB Leipzig has the best defense, only conceding, I believe, 30 goals as the time of making this podcast. And then Wolfsburg conceded 34 goals. So
Jesus
only 4 goal
Christ.
difference between them.
Wow.
Even coming close to RB Leipzig, where Leipzig has so many resources, so much money, that's a great accomplishment for John Brooks and Wolfsburg. Great stuff by them. And the last man, Hoppy, scored a goal finally.
Making everybody's hopes come true.
Yeah, after a big hiatus where he scored 5 goals in 3 games, then he didn't score a goal for what seemed like a year, he finally got back onto that score sheet. And with that goal, it subsequently helped John Brooks and Giovanni Reina stay up in those UEFA Champions League spots.
Yeah.
So good stuff by Hoppy. I hope he does play good in the second division as Schalke is getting relegated. And I feel like that's something that he needs to, improve his game.
Yeah.
Is in that second division to get that skill up. Because right now it's a little bit too quick for him, the Bundesliga. It's a little bit too quick. And I feel like the second tier is going to be way better for his development. In all
I feel like I
senses.
interrupt you a lot, so I was waiting there, but I agree. Sometimes this relegation, I mean, even for a player as himself, is a thing that looks dim, but in a way it can be incredible because for a player like him, as you're saying, it's too fast for him right now up where he's playing. So being pushed down like this is kind of giving him a chance to be like, all right, I got to realize I have to capitalize on my flaws here. And this is a great opportunity for me to do so. Fix up my game, clean up my edges, and come back a new guy.
You say dim, I say dank. I think it's a great move for him.
I like that a lot. And speaking of dank, I believe this takes us into guest number one and our only guest today. That is Josh Penn. He was a lot of fun to have on. Let us know what you guys think about this interview. We are now being joined with Josh Penn of Inter Miami, the former 10th overall pick, proudly selected by Inter Miami and David Beckham in this recent MLS Super Draft. Josh Penn, welcome to MLS Cafe. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, guys. How are you?
Great. And we're super stoked to have you on. And jumping right into this, the first question that I have to ask you is how would you describe yourself with one word, and you can elaborate on that, as a player? And what would you say is your strongest strength on the pitch?
If I had to choose one word, I'd say speed. I'm a winger who likes to take guys on 1v1 and go at them with speed and whip in crosses or cut inside to my left foot and score goals. I think I'm dynamic in my movement and I can produce goals, whether it's assists or finishing.
Now, when you go one-on-one, do you have like a go-to move that you like using, or do you just go past them, just sprint past them?
Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty boring with it. My dad always tells me I need to put some moves in there, but usually just like a little hesitation and go because usually I'm faster than them, so I just got to catch them off balance and then go. But I'm trying to add some moves into my game to spice it up a little.
Hey, keeping the clean is a good way to play, though. I mean, you get too fancy, there's more mistakes that could be made. So just playing a
Yeah,
simple game sometimes, especially equipped with your speed, is sometimes all you need to do on the pitch to win a game.
yeah, I agree.
Exactly. Now, you played in a lot of tiers of American soccer, in the USL with Indy 11, even in college with Indiana, and now recently with Inter Miami in Major League Soccer. So, which stage and team would you say helped your development the most? Like, what was more crucial to you? Which team?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint one because I think all of them have helped me develop in like various ways where you look at college, it's a short season. You really got to focus on keeping your body right. So that was something I kind of had to learn because before there was always time between games when I was playing academy. And then along the lines of that being with Todd Yeagley, he really helps develop the player off the field too. So um I think that was really good for me to mature a little as a freshman in college and just work on myself as a person, my mentality for taking that next step. When you look at USL, obviously it's professional, so that was my first taste. I was able to go within the 11 my senior year, so I got a longer period of time then actually than I did before the draft. So before college, I think I got more out of USL because I came in super late after the summer going into my sophomore year. So right before the
Mhm.
draft, basically. I came in late, we didn't make playoffs, and then it was off season. So I got a lot out of the professional environment, really like my senior year of high school. Again, that kind of ties into mentality and with that, obviously the level's higher. So that was my first taste of that. And I think that helped me develop as a player. And then finally being here, going through preseason, now the beginning of the season in the MLS, it's just another step up with all of that. It probably is the most vital and it's going to be. We're still in it now, but I think learning from all these players who've been doing it for years, it's helped me a lot already and grinding through that preseason. That was something I hadn't experienced before. So I think I'm really looking forward to how this is gonna help me and what it already has done.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to put it. I mean, definitely compacted like a lot of thoughts into that. And like you were saying
Yeah.
with Inter Miami and Indy and all that, all having that built into your system and foundation as a player. And again, a young player, that's
Yeah.
very crucial. And that kind of brings me to the next question I want to ask. Going back to draft day, when you heard your name selected 10th overall by David Beckham's Inter Miami, one of the newest teams in Major League Soccer, where were you? What was the overall reaction? And how much was your phone blowing up, man? Because I couldn't even imagine.
My phone was blowing up. Yeah, I was just at home with a couple of my friends and my family. I mean, it was really exciting. Like you said, it's a really new team, so that's really what got me excited to come here was that I know from speaking to them before I got picked, like they have really big ambitions, and being here and living it now, you see it coming through. And obviously we still have a long way to go, and we're getting better as a team, but coming here I think is really good for me because I get to kind of see like the way a club is being built, and
Mhm.
it's still not like the complete product at all yet. So it's exactly what I was hoping for, and being able to be a part of it and help with that is really exciting. So that was my thoughts going in, and they've lived up to that since I've been here.
Just as a side note, again, with it being a new club, out of all the kits you guys have, is there one that really stands out to you? Like, do you have a favorite kit that you were like, when you got selected, you're like, yo, I can't wait to put this on and post that Instagram picture?
When I got selected, no, but when I first got here, they showed me our black jersey because it hadn't even been released yet. So
Hmm.
when they showed me that, that was super exciting to me. I was stoked to post a picture in that. It's nothing crazy, but I'm kind of a simple guy, so I like the style of it.
I mean, if you couldn't tell, we are too. I mean, he's wearing gray, I'm
Yeah.
wearing beige. So
I wear this in every single interview, so
yeah, it's the good luck one.
I wear the same shirt. But talking
Simple's
about
the way to
exciting,
go.
your debut, that game against LA Galaxy, one of the craziest games I saw, super entertaining. Just
Yeah.
what was that like making your debut with the squad in that insane game?
Yeah, obviously it was special. I didn't know I was gonna sub in. I really didn't. I mean, they tell all the subs to be ready, so I was, and he called my name, and I really wasn't too nervous because even though it was a crazy game, I mean, I came down when we had just gotten scored on, so I didn't really feel too much pressure because I just had to go out there and try to make something happen. But no, it was a really special moment, and every time I've been in the stadium since, it's still just as special because our fan base is unreal. And starting next game, we'll have full capacity. So I can't even imagine what it's going to be like then.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
gonna be awesome having a full, all the fans in there and the stadium. That's gonna be insane.
We're getting
Yeah.
closer to it every day too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we are for sure. I can't wait. But with Inter, you're playing with some big names, Matuidi, Gonzalo Higuain. Do you ever get like starstruck just knowing that you're playing alongside these legends of the game?
Yeah. I've got that question a lot. Surprisingly, really, no. I mean, obviously, they are legends and they've done amazing things in this game. But like once you meet them, they're just normal guys. So it was a really easy transition with that. I've learned a lot from them, so it's if anything, it's just really good to have them there with me because they can share their experience with me, and I can learn from them.
exactly like a mentor type.
Yeah.
Again, especially them being like legends. I mean, those are the best mentors you could have.
Yeah, that kind of leads us to with our next question, where they like teach you anything in specific, like a mentality switch or anything like that that changed you as a player.
Yeah. Nothing like super specific soccer wise, but like you said, mentality. That's in my opinion, just from what I've seen so far. Obviously, I haven't been pro for a long time, but everyone has like a ton of skill that's playing pro, but mentality is what I think can take you to the next level
Hmm.
amongst those players. So learning mentality from them is huge. And with Blaze and Gonzalo, everything they expect to be perfect. And obviously it's not always going to be, but getting in that mentality, not where you're scared to make a mistake, but that like you need to be perfect all the time. And they'll let you know if you're not. And it's funny with Blaze sometimes, like you'll mess up, he won't say anything, but then a few minutes later, he still remembers it, and he'll walk through you with it. He'll be like, "All right, You have to do better there. Here's what you need to do. And sometimes I have to think back. I'm like, wait, when did I even mess up? But no, it's good
Hey,
because
tough
they hold
love.
you accountable. It is, yeah. I appreciate it. I always do. But yeah, it's really the mentality that I've learned from them, and I'll continue learning from them.
Hmm. And with everything you're saying about working towards being perfect and how mistakes happen, working towards being perfect at such a young age, just coming into the league, what are some of the short-term goals you have set up for yourself this season? And what more of the long-term goals, rather,
Yeah.
goals you could see yourself accomplishing?
Short term, obviously I'm a rookie, so um opportunities aren't as as common as you'd see with older players. So whenever I get an opportunity, I'm just gonna try to help the team. Really, my focus has been and is gonna be to just practice every day as hard as I can because just in the short time I've been here, even without playing a ton of minutes in games, just through practice, I see myself improving every day. So even that just excites me. So for the short term, like I just need to keep that mentality every day, even if I'm not playing huge minutes, because I know in the long run it's gonna make me a much better player. And
Hmm.
then long-term goals, I have really big goals for myself. I want to play at the highest level possible, however that can happen. So I think the short term plays into long term. If I continue working hard, opportunities will open up and I'll be willing to take them for sure.
Now, with opportunities opening up and you're talking about goals, I can guarantee you your short term goals are way different and completely different, I should say, than mine. For instance, I'll be going to a wedding in Chicago in the upcoming months. I think it's July. And I see you were from Illinois. Now, the most important question I can ask you, we asked this to Andres Jason of NYCFC, another young stud in the league
Yeah.
right now, him being from Connecticut, you being from Illinois, close enough to Chicago, and us being here on Long Island, New York. This is the trident of pizza.
Trifecta.
Trifecta is the word I'm looking for. Everybody has their own. And the only difference with Chicago style pizza is it is deep dish. And I've
Hmm.
been hearing about this for a long time. And I need to know from you, is it worth the hype? Does it live up to it? Or because in my opinion, I mean, it's just not pizza. It's deep dish pizza. You can't pick it up like a slice. So I
Exactly.
need to know what's the deal with this Chicago style pizza?
I'm not gonna get a lot of love for this answer back home, but I'm more of a New York style slice guy
Oh, I
myself.
love it.
So
I love it. Gotta come to NYCFC.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, it's good. It's still pizza, so it's gonna be good, but it's not what I prefer. I mean, there's some people who love it, and good for them, but it's not my type of slice.
I got you. I mean, when you're getting drafted, was there a small hope of you that was like, yo, get me that New York pizza, get me that New York pizza?
Of course, of course.
Nice.
And also, you're in Miami right now. Is there anything that you wanted to do or see when you came off that plane and you touched down in Miami? Any beaches or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously going to the beach, I was looking forward to. I've only gone once actually, because it's just so hot here. I don't wanna go there and have my energy drained. One thing, um, a different thing that I've been wanting to do, and I think it's insane that I haven't yet. I've yet to see an alligator, and I'm in
Really?
Florida.
Really? Because
Is
Toronto
that
saw that big, it wasn't an alligator or
yeah,
crocodile,
I
right? They
don't
saw
know
uh-huh.
the
that.
difference. Those things are terrifying too. Have you ever seen them stand up on their hind legs? It's like
No?
insane. Yeah, go on YouTube. I'm telling you, go on YouTube and look this up. They will stand up on their hind legs and like do this little jog with their stubby legs. It's the weirdest thing
Well,
ever.
yeah, that was fake, man. Maybe
No.
that's only bears, man. I don't
No,
think
dude,
crocodiles
I'm
can actually
serious,
do
man.
that.
I'm serious. I'm serious. You gotta check it out. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you've been in Miami for how long now and you haven't seen one?
Yeah, like, it's, like, 4 months now, and constantly, if I'm taking, like, a walk through, like, a forest or something, I'm just looking for them, and maybe
Yeah,
they're
I was gonna say,
scared
do
of
you
me,
really
I
want to
don't
see one
know.
though?
Yeah, I don't wanna see one too close, but I feel like I need to have at least seen one.
They always find them on like golf courses. So maybe go golfing one day,
Yeah,
you know?
I do. I've been trying to pick up golf, so maybe I'm not good enough to go to an actual golf course yet, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll just stick
I'm
to the
no
ranges
golfer,
for
but
now.
I'm no golfer, but you put me in the mini golf game, man, and we're going every hole in one. So.
Oh yeah, mini golf's where it's at.
Exactly, yeah. But I don't expect to find any alligators on mini golf up here, at least. So.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, if you do, you better be running because that's not normal.
If that happened up here, somebody's losing their job. So.
Yeah. And with that, I think that just about sums our questions. Do you have any messages for this upcoming season with Inter Miami?
Yeah, I mean, for the fans, they've been brilliant so far, and I'm really looking forward to what this team can do. So there's a lot more to come from us, and we're gonna build on it every day. So it's gonna be an exciting year for sure.
Mhm.
Thank you again for being on. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was great, and good
course.
luck this upcoming season.
Nice. I appreciate it, guys.
Major Stokeage.
Okay, we hope you guys really enjoyed that interview. I know we did. Josh Penn, what a great guy. And I can't wait to have him back on, as we were saying to him afterwards. I don't know if we actually included this in the interview we showed you, but after he scores that hat trick, we're going to have him back on so we can talk to him a little more. I mean, what a cool guy he was.
Yeah, man, he was amazing.
So many great guys came out of that last MLS Super Draft, and he was definitely one of the best, I think.
Yeah, top 10. Top 10.
I mean, literally, yeah, top 10. But top 10 for us, too. I mean, really cool guy. Moving on, Major Stokeage. A lot of things to be stoked about. You want to walk us in here with level 1 on the Stoke meter?
Level 1, everybody. So Portland, we all know their goalie situation has been a little bit shaky. You know, last game they had, 2 games ago, they had that giant, the beast, 6'7" man from Alaska, being the youngest goalkeeper to ever start a game as well. But now this weekend, they have a new goalkeeper by the name of Hunter Ketterer, and in his first game against San Jose, he saved a PK by Chris Wondolowski, the highest goal scorer in the league. What a save that was. And it wasn't even like a cheap save either. He literally had to dive all the way into the corner. Like, that was a great PK by Chris Wondo, but he saved that thing.
I'm devastated that Jeff Antonella is injured right now.
Dude, everyone's
He was
injured for that
playing
team.
so good, though. Like, Jeff was such a man, and for that to happen this early on in the season, finally getting the recognition that he deserves, and this is what happens.
Season ending.
It's horrible. Is it officially season? Like, over? Like, even if they make the playoffs, like, just done?
Season over, man.
Oh, my God, that's horrible. That really breaks my heart.
Breezing through the season. But now, new guy, Hunter Ketterer, he's coming from El Paso in the USL. That was his first game with Portland Timbers. Obviously, he's on loan. But just in one game, he's now become a cult hero for Portland in one night, which is insane. Like, they're always going to remember that game from him.
Exactly, yeah. And Portland has such a huge fan base. I mean, that's incredible. Does that wrap up your Stoke 1?
That is Stoke 1 right there.
Now let me take us over to Stoke 2 for the Major Stokeage here on the Stoke meter. FC Cincinnati finally got to play at their new West End Stadium. And while they did lose to Miami 3-2 in classic FC Cincinnati way, it was incredible. The atmosphere was sublime. The attendance was, it was everything about it in West End was definitely incredible. It really reminded me about Red Bulls back in the day.
Well, yeah, it reminds me of Red Bull Arena. You know, it's almost identical to it, just has a little bit more seating, and it has a way cooler LED design on the outside.
It's fantastic. I remember when they posted that Twitter video showing it off, I was like, I think I sent it to you, and I was like, dude, look at this.
It's awesome, dude. It's like Red Bull Arena, but on Adderall, you know?
FC Cincinnati, in my opinion, has no reason to be as bad as they are right now. I look at their roster, I like it. I look at everything about that team, I like it. Of course, it could use some improvements, but what team couldn't? But overall, FC Cincinnati kind of had you being a little better this season.
Me as well. Again, their attack, I feel like, would be very good in the league, but they just can't really score any goals, and they concede way too many.
I agree.
Which just can't be happening. West End Stadium, that is a beautiful piece of architecture.
It is. West End Stadium really killing it.
Best stadium in the league for me. And now should we go to the third Major Stokeage?
Yes,
which
it's all you.
actually has to do with this game again.
Ooh.
Those TV ratings for FC Cincinnati versus Inter Miami, did you get to catch them by any
I did
chance?
not. Would you like to tell me about them?
Fantastic, man. So it was on Fox and Fox Deportes. For Fox, it was 347K.
Wow.
And then Deportes, just switched the numbers around, you got 374K. So in total, 721K for one game that isn't the playoffs and isn't the MLS Cup. It's just a regular season game. That's got to be one of the highest viewed regular season games of all time for Major League Soccer.
Why?
Inter Miami. It's the Inter Miami effect. Or maybe the Breck Shea effect, you could say. You know, with Atlanta, they did amazing, and now with Inter.
Why? I understand it, but why that game?
Well, it's
then why isn't every Inter Miami game just breaking records like that? I know it's always very well, but I'm surprised it's FC Cincinnati in Miami. I mean, awesome. I'm super stoked to hear that. Just as an MLS supporter, I love seeing the numbers rise. But I would expect those numbers to be tripled then when Inter Miami plays a team like the Galaxy.
See, I feel like it's a combination of many factors. One of those factors being, again, the new stadium. A lot of FC Cincy fans wanted to watch that game. Another factor being on the main channel on cable, Channel 5. And then the other factor being Inter Miami, who has David Beckham, a bunch of prestigious players, Gonzalo Higuain, Matuidi. And Gonzalo Higuain, he's been heating it up, bro.
Yeah, I got him on my fantasy team. We'll talk about that in a little bit, though.
We will, but that was ultimate Stokeage right there. And I feel like every single game and week we talk about, the viewers just keep going up, man.
It does. It's insane. We were talking about that before. A couple segments ago, we were talking about that. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. I feel like every time we turn our heads or turn on the TV, more people in America and around the world are turning on their TVs, obviously, because the number just keeps on rising. It's not plateauing.
And this is a perfect time, too, to just thank everybody watching this podcast, as our viewers have been going up pretty good as well in the past couple weeks.
They have been, and I've been very happy to see that, especially in audio form.
I just had to shamelessly advertise there.
No, of course. In audio form, we do way better than we do on YouTube sometimes. So that's great. So thank you, guys.
And with that, should we go to major disappointment?
Major disappointment. I have some.
Major disappointment.
Okay, guys, major disappointment right here. You want to take them to level 1 being disappointing?
I mean, you want to talk about disappointment? Does this even qualify for disappointment? It's just a complete letdown. Chicago Fire. What's going on here? I mean, every time I look around the corner, I just see Chicago fans just even more sadder than they were the day before. If you know a Chicago fan, give them a hug, because now they are having their worst start in franchise history. This team has been around for quite some time. So to start the series and season 0-4-1 is incredibly sad. But with that being said, not the worst team. FC Cincinnati's got you there, being the worst team and also leading in the category of goal differentials. Oh my God, FC Cincinnati, how do you find your way into this stream so much?
Just looking at Chicago, man, it's really a sight to behold. Again, I feel like they had so many worse seasons, but this is the worst season. And going to a new location, new scenery, now going to Soldier Field, you would think that
they play like soldiers.
Yeah, you think it would spark up something, maybe rejuvenate them, revive them, but it's been quite the opposite. They can't win a game. The only point that they have was against New England, which surprisingly they did tie to them. So,
and typically I would say, it's New England, but New England I think right now is like first.
They're fantastic right now.
What the hell happened there? How are they first? Where did this come from?
Well, we did predict them coming top, so
not that top for me.
Really? For me,
not
I had
that
them
top for me.
For me, I think I had them coming second.
I'm impressed, to say the least, and the players on the New England team, you've been great for me in fantasy, so keep up the good work, boys.
Definitely keep it.
You want to take us into just the disappointment level number 2 on the meter?
Yeah, let's hit it. So, there's been a lot of injuries with the Seattle Sounders. Somehow they're actually playing very good with them, but just the injuries themselves have been pretty noteworthy. The first one being Jordy Delham. He is their center defensive mid, and he has an ACL injury, which is going to take him all the way to the end of the season, which is pretty hard for him because he was actually breaking through that squad and playing a lot of minutes with them. And the second injury being Stefan Fry, their goaltender. Now they have a new Tendy, the backup. But even with these injuries, I feel like Seattle's still finding a way to win. They have 5 wins on the season. They're in first place in all of the league. So Seattle has been showing up every single game, but they've been killing it, man.
Mm-hmm. And talking about Seattle and first place, let's talk about last place and still Seattle. But sadly, it's not Seattle in last place. It is LAFC for the major disappointment on our meter. The level 3, here we are. As I said, LAFC, worst team right now over there. I mean, sitting on the bottom 1-2-2. They just lost to Seattle this week. 0-2, 2-0, depending on how you look at that, I guess. What's there not to say about this? I mean, this is LAFC, a team that everyone, I think, had dominating as usual, and everything between their coach and everything that's going on with Carlos Vela and some loss of players. I mean, to me, it just looks like too much pressure on Atuesta.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on here. I have no reason, no recollection of how this would have happened. I mean, flip-flop LA Galaxy and LAFC, and that looks more like a season people were predicting, but I think everybody just got the wrong LA team being better this year.
Yeah, they got to get their stuff together. There is one little glimmer of hope, though, is that one of their main mans last season, he didn't really start too much, but again, they spent a lot of money. He was their DP. Brian Rodriguez, he's coming back on loan. It looks like, again, it's not 100% certain, but it's basically all set in stone that he will be coming back from UD Almeria from the Spanish second division, so that might help their offense. But even then, I feel like Corey Barrett hasn't been that bad for them.
What is it going to matter? Bob Bradley's probably going to bench him anyway.
Yeah, I just feel like it's all around a very bad season for LAFC. Bob Bradley has to get his team back in order. The chemistry has to be going up.
Yeah.
Because right now it's not working for him.
Can you see Bob Bradley being chopped?
I could see him being trapped.
After a season like this, when you have all the pieces you need to be good, and this is what you're doing with them, I think so.
Brad is not playing like a Brad right now, dude.
Brad's not rad.
He's not at all. You know, his team
Brad's bad.
His team's going down in the ditch, man. And it's only a matter of time till, as you said, he does get chopped. He does get sacked. And with that, should we head over to MLS Fantasy?
Yeah, our final segment.
MLS Fantasy.
Man, MLS Fantasy. Kind of sleeping on it, but don't sleep on my team because they're kind of looking pretty good right now. I think what do I have my record right here? I got 4 wins and only 1 loss, and I didn't even start playing until like the 3rd week.
Well, I was going to say this, dude. Right now, you're currently sitting in 10th place.
Yeah, I'm top 10, literally.
Which is quite fascinating because you came from essentially last all the way to 1st in the span of a month.
It's underdog season, bro. I'm just like the GOAT. I mean, Carlos Hill, my captain, and he's been killing it. I had Andre Blake as my captain at one point. Got me over 20 points. I'm just loving life right now. And the only regret I have with my team right now is not having Higuain. And I know for a fact he's the guy I'm putting in this upcoming week. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now about fantasy. I'm trying to get up to the top, but that Japanese kid's got me beat.
And just like you said, Carlos Hill was your captain. He was my captain as well. I think we actually made a deal beforehand. They were like, yo, you know what? Let's make the same captain somebody.
I was going to sabotage it too, but I decided not to, and I'm happy I didn't.
Thank God. Yeah, again, 20 points for Carlos Hill.
Yeah.
And then Gonzalo Higuain for me, absolutely working wonders. Got me 13, 14 points.
Yeah.
And I almost got 100 points, man. I almost broke the 3-digit barrier. I think I had 97 points that week.
Yeah, he's been incredible.
I killed it.
Top 3 pickups right now for you guys. Brad Smith, Chicharito, and Carlos Hill, obviously.
Yeah, for me, I'm definitely gonna have 2 out of those 3.
I think I'm going to have all 3.
For this week. Right now, my record's currently 3-0-2. I feel like I can definitely boost it up to 4-0-2. And if I can, I could be top 10 next week.
Mm-hmm. And with that being said, we hope you enjoy our final segment coming up. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you next week.
Enjoy the Hogan.
Hogan's Hot Takes, brother. Welcome back, brother, to another segment of Hogan's Hot Takes. Where are you gonna be, brother, when Hogan comes knocking on your eardrums with some incredibly hot takes, too hot for your mouth and your tongue? My first hot take to introduce you into my segment today is Bob Bradley. Oh, Bob Bradley, in my opinion, for the way LAFC has been playing this season, brother, you should be sacked, brother. It is time for some major sackage on you, Bob. Where are you gonna be, Bob, when Hulk Hogan calls out your sack? NYCFC, brother, gonna be the best team in the league. Tals Magno, brand new signing, a Brazilian beaut is coming to NYC. He's gonna be the Empire in the Empire State, brother. I'm just feeling fired up right now, brother, to talk about LAFC one more time. Carlos Vela, I'm calling you out. Where are you gonna be, brother? Cause you're not on the pitch, and I'm tired of you, you little baby bitch.